Hello, and welcome back to the Will to Win podcast. This is Alex Muir, helping millennial professionals reach peak mental and physical performance. And in today's episode, this is part of our special guest series. We have on today's episode Latoya Early. Latoya is a vision coach, author, or 5-time author, podcast host, and empowerment trainer for her company, Chase Great Enterprises. And welcome to the show, Latoya Early.
Hey,
Hey, Latoya, how's it going?
it's good. It's good. I'm glad I figured this thing out.
Yeah, no worries. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. And I was just doing some little background research on you, and some really cool stuff. And your business and your brand really align with my audience and what I'm trying to portray to my audience as well. So awesome stuff.
That's cool.
So from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but you help your businesses to help like kind of start up businesses or to create a group of coaches and leaders, and then provide those coaches and leaders ongoing support to help others with build their businesses. Is that how it works?
So I help startup coaches, helping them build their coaching business. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because I've actually always been really interested in being like a lifestyle coach or business coach.
Cool.
And I'm actually, and I find it really intriguing. So super happy to have you on, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate this opportunity.
No, yeah, for sure. And you also mentioned that you're a podcast host and an author as well.
I am.
What's the name of your podcast?
Maximize Your Monday is my podcast.
I like that. And then the name of your business is the Chase Great Enterprises, right?
Yes, sir.
And are you based out of Detroit, Michigan?
Yes.
Awesome. Cool. I'm actually based out of Canada, so this is really cool.
I know, we're like literally right across the street from each other. That's hilarious.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, it's super cool. One thing I want to start off by saying is why don't you kind of introduce yourself to the listeners, okay, and kind of what you do, and then I definitely got some questions for you written down as well. So
okay, cool. Let's rock out.
All right. So one thing I wanted to start off by saying is kind of, what does your daily routine look like? Like what time do you wake up, and then when you wake up, what is your your power hour look like? Do you meditate? Do you do kind of yoga? What is the first things that you do in the morning?
So would you like the before the emergency, the state of an emergency we're in, or would you like the Latoya before this time?
Yeah. Before the state of emergency, yeah.
Because
with everything that's going on.
I've been a full-time mom, teacher, wife, just the whole nine. So our schedules have been so thrown off. But traditionally and routinely, I do wake up about 5:00 a.m. And I do what I consider a 60-minute mindset. And it's where I do sit and I pray and I meditate and I read my word. And I really just go into prayer so that I can understand and know what God has for me to do for my clients and for my family in that day.
Oh, okay. And I think I did some reading, and you do when you started your business, you did some journaling. You wrote down kind of everything that your vision of how you want your business to start.
Absolutely.
Or how to start your business.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a firm believer in that as well. Like I love writing stuff down. And do you have a dream board?
I don't have a dream board, but I do write all day, every day. I do believe that, and I'm saying physically writing, because we know that when you take the pen to paper, what it does is it locks that goal or locks that desire to the subconscious. So I'm super big on writing the vision. I'm super big on sticky notes and just everywhere. If you see my office, I have notes and signs and all types of things just everywhere.
Oh yeah. I can really relate to that, because like I just like to have free flowing thoughts. So as soon as I have a thought, I always like to capture it in digital and written format.
Yeah.
But preferably written because it's solidified on paper, right?
Absolutely.
So
And it's solidified in your thinking.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It just makes it a lot more you're thinking a lot more crisp because you're constantly drawn towards that goal because
Absolutely.
it's written
Yep,
down.
yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how long have you had your business for?
So I've been in entrepreneurship since 2008. Chase Great, however, is since 2012. So I was the full-time entrepreneur, or I was the entrepreneur running around chasing its tail, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what works. I've been anywhere between an adult novelty representative to a semi-professional basketball team, a co-owner to an event planner. I've done them all. But it wasn't
Wow.
until 2012 when God said, "Okay, Latoya, are you done doing what you want to do? Like, are you ready to now do what I need you to do?" And so in 2012 is when Chase Great was birthed.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, and I like how you said everything leading up to that point was preparing you for Chase Great
Absolutely,
Enterprises.
absolutely, hands down.
Yeah, yeah. So can you delve into that a little bit more? Like, because I know a lot of people they're either born into entrepreneurship, their families already, they got a family of entrepreneurs, or they've worked full time most of their life, and then they reach a point when they're ready for that transition into
Yeah.
entrepreneurship.
So
And I'm yeah. So I want to get your take on that, kind of how you evolved into becoming an
that's
entrepreneur.
cool. So my dad was pretty good. He did entrepreneurship for a while in his younger years. Unfortunately, he didn't have, the proper guidance to help him really build and develop in the lane that he was able to thrive in. So I knew it was a part of my DNA. As a child, I would sit and I would play office. I didn't play doctor. I didn't play teacher. I played office. I ran the office. I filed imaginary papers. I made imaginary phone calls. That was just what I desired to do. And so as I grew older, I found myself always having that leadership type of personality where I always wanted to figure some things out. I was never the one to follow the system. I was trying to make the system better. And that's in any job that I've ever had and anything that I've ever done. And so when I started my very first business, again, I did multi-level marketing, was my first business. And yeah, that didn't work out too well, but it really kind of sparked that interest, that entrepreneurship. I've had a demolition company. I've done, like I said, I was co-owner of a semi-professional basketball team. I had an event planning company, and I was doing all of these things because, again, I knew entrepreneurship was what I was supposed to do. I just didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know how I was supposed to do it. So, in my mind, entrepreneurship was building your own business to generate income versus building a business that serves people that'll then bring you income. So I wasn't born into entrepreneurship per se. My family, I came from a working class family, a family that taught you to go to school, get your education, to get a good job. So what I've done in my career and in my life is really against not only what my family traditionally raised us to do, but it was against even my husband and his family. They're working class as well. And they're like, hey, you have this wife who wants to pursue this business full time. That's going against the grain. But I had to fulfill what I knew God wanted me to do. And then that innate ability, that innate desire that was in me.
No, that's really cool, and I like how you touched on building a business that serves people first, and then the income and the money will
Absolutely.
follow later on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because what you're doing, from my understanding, and I've been really kind of studying entrepreneurs and business in entrepreneurship for a few years now, and one thing that keeps coming back over and over again is serving people first and providing
Yes.
value, and it's like yeah. I was reading a book called Click Millionaires because I'm very obsessed about building an online business, and I have my own blog, and that's what actually kind of over the last year, I would say, it's helped me be able to interact with people like yourself, fellow professionals, people in their and that are in their realm of expertise or in their zone of
Yes.
genius. And I get super excited and honored to be around people like yourself, because I know eventually I talk to enough people that are in entrepreneurship, and eventually I'll learn some enough tips and tricks that I'll be able to go full time
Absolutely.
myself. So super exciting stuff.
Absolutely. I've been a full time entrepreneur for 6 years. After I had my third child, it was time for me to make a decision. And so,
Oh wow.
and that
Yeah.
was the most uncomfortable, awkward time to make that decision. But
Yeah.
I had to, because, and again, going back to entrepreneurship being more so a call versus a choice, because you go through the process, you go through the journey, you go through different highs and lows of entrepreneurship. And if you aren't called to do this as a life assignment, you'll find yourself wanting to give up and wanting to quit. And so when I first started Chase Great, I focused on helping entrepreneurs get started, doing their filing, doing their 501c3s, becoming tax exempt through the government, through the federal government. And so I was doing I was doing this work, and it still wasn't hitting the nail on the head. So that's really how I started evolving into coaching, is when I saw that my desire was really to help you see bigger in your business. My desire was really to help you move the roadblocks, move the barriers. Let's understand the message that you're here to bring. Let's understand the problem that you're called to solve, so that you can really build the lucrative and successful business that you desire. So, having that desire is a huge thing when it comes to building business, because if you're only out for the money, you'll get stuck. You'll want to quit. It doesn't. One of my favorite memes is, I became an overnight success in 10 years. It's not a immediate type of return, but if you stay diligent in the
Yeah. Yeah.
process, you're guaranteed to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Overnight success in 10 years. Because, yeah, it takes most people some people say 5, but I've definitely heard things really start to take off between 8 to 10
Yeah.
or 7 to
Yeah.
10 years. Because it's
Yeah,
reaching that
but when
next
you
phase.
really know what you serve, there's a difference. And I teach this to the coaches. There's 3 different areas of marketing. And so even this year, the amount of years it takes to reach a certain level of success, depending on what your level of success looks like. But there's 3 different marketing areas that I teach about. I teach about profit, exchanging profit for product, exchanging profit for service, and then exchanging profit for transformation. Those are 3 different marketing areas. So in your business, if you're not clear on, the person that you're serving, the problem that you're solving, what you're doing, then you can mix up those different areas and you can become confused. And it may take a little more time for you to build and develop. So you got to iron
Yeah.
out those areas.
Yeah. Yeah. Because basically what you're doing is you're building the skeletal structure
Yeah,
of a system, right? Early on. And
it takes
it takes
time.
time. It takes a decent amount of time to build that system. And so can you run that by me one more time? It was the first point was profit for
Profit, exchanging profit for
which?
product. Yep,
Oh, profit for
profit for
product. Got it.
service, and then profit for transformation. And that's my specialty, the profit for transformation.
I like that. I like that. And like basically what that's doing is that's where you're creating leaders, like helping them, like you said, fulfill their own potential, which they might not have known they had, but you help bring it to the surface, um, by maybe explaining things to them in a different perspective or
Absolutely.
light. Yeah, that's so cool. Wow. Yeah, I got some really good notes
Cool.
written down here. And then on your podcast, Maximize Your Monday, what kind of guests do you have on there? Do you have little bit of variety, or stick to your own niche of coaching, business coaching,
With the
lifestyle coaching?
Maximize Your Monday podcast, it's really just a moment to help you maximize your day. So I don't really introduce too many interviews or guests. It's just my time to really empower those in the marketplace. I'm rising above mediocrity in the marketplace. So just giving you that boost to help you change your perspective, help you change the way you're viewing your situation or viewing life. So it's not a podcast that offers the interview perspective, just that Monday boost perspective, helping you change the way you view Mondays.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really good. Um, and then I noticed that you've written quite a few books. You've written
I
five plus
have.
books. Are they a culmination of paperback and Kindle or
So they're all
ebooks or
paperback. They're
all?
all paperback books. The
Okay.
last two books are my favorite because they are anthologies where I partner with the coaches that are a part of my program, and I really help them build a platform in becoming an author. So the Coach My Life brand, or the Coach My Life movement, is about helping the coaches first create a product so that they have something to offer to their audience as they are speaking, as they're traveling, whatever that they're doing, but to really help them establish a foundation and really help them establish a message. So the Coach My Life anthology is something that can be found on my website. And you know, that's where I'm able to offer and really position the book to the audience.
Yeah, I really like that. Like about the helping them create a product
Yes.
to give to their audience. And that's kind of the stage that I'm in as well. Because right now I'm in audience building stage, right? I'm trying to get my name
Yes.
out there, my brand out there. And that's why I feel having people like yourself on my podcast is going to help share my movement and build my tribe, because I need more, it takes time to find the, people that think alike on the internet. It takes time to build. And with my blog and my YouTube channel, my blog, YouTube channel, and podcast are my main forms of marketing. Because those are the ones I like the best. I really like the podcast because I get
Yeah,
to hear people's stories, and I
absolutely.
love storytelling. So that's why I feel like it's such a good fit for building up my brand. But definitely still learning the social media part. But I love video and I love audio format for building
Cool.
relationships and online. And then what would you say is one of your favorite books that help give you additional insight into building your brand, or just building your
Hmm,
self-confidence?
that's a good question.
What really stuck with you?
You know
Which which
what?
which book?
I'm going to use the book There's No Plan B for Your A Game by Bo Eason. It's so funny because when I
Oh.
picked up the book, I didn't know who Bo Eason was, for number one. So I didn't know that he was this professional athlete. And then he completely changed his career and went into Broadway. Like, who does that? And so now he is that storytelling coach. But just to see how he was able to pivot and how he was able to stay focused, I think that not only is that one of my go-to books, but that's actually one of the books that I'm having my 8-year-old read right now.
Wow, that's incredible. And I like how you said a lot of entrepreneurs, with everything going on, that's a key word that you just mentioned, is pivoting
Absolutely.
and adapting. Because as you know, with everything going on right now with the COVID-19 crisis, people are still trying to serve their clients. They're still trying to serve their tribe, but they just have to kind of change or
Yep.
adapt a little bit to how they do it. Um, and that's why I'm so fascinated by building something online, because I know if I keep with it, that you're. I just heard another quote from. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Entrepreneurs on
I
Fire
have.
podcast by
Yes.
John Lee Dumas. Yeah, I love that one. And he had a guest on. They were saying, um, they were saying that just because you're successful 25 years prior or 10 years prior doesn't mean you're going to continue to be successful. There's going to be different challenges and occurrences that happen with your business, and sometimes you have to do a pivot. Yeah, you have two choices. You either
Or you
quit
change.
because it gets really bad, or you're going
Yep.
to do it. You change, you adapt. And that's what I find really remarkable, because in the online space, especially, we just have so much information and ways of, adapting to incoming stuff going on. So it teaches you, I feel like, to react quickly. when things are not going as
And
well as
that,
you
but that's the gift of
anticipated.
entrepreneurship,
So,
and that's when I talk about it being a call. You have to know how to stay on your toes. I talk about jumping and building the parachute as you jump. Like, this isn't, you don't really, I know that people take their time to build out, and I want to take my time, but you don't know it until you're in it. So you have to be the one to say, you know what, I'm going to jump and I'm going to build my parachute on the way down. And I'm telling you, right before you think you're getting ready to hit the hit the ground, your parachute opens. But just knowing that, especially in the season that we're in right now, and the times that we're in right now, for my entrepreneurs, just staying focused and knowing that this is the time where your messaging is more important than anything. You have to know what message you are delivering to your ideal client, and what does that look like? What problem are you solving for them? We're in the era now where you have to be specific. Everyone is looking for an instant solution to something, and so in order to provide that instant
yeah,
solution,
yeah.
then you have to speak to a pain point that's going to connect them to you. And if you don't know how to do that, you'll find it really hard.
Right, right. Yeah, no, that's really good. Yeah. You gotta figure out what their pain point is. Yeah. And on that Entrepreneurs on Fire podcast yesterday when I was listening to it, he talked about that. He asked his wife, he said one of the kind of practices or rituals that he would do when he was starting his business idea was he would ask everyone, "Oh, what's something that's caused you a lot of grief and a lot of pain, and it's becoming a problem, and you're not sure how to solve it. Like, what is something that has been a consistent
Mm-hmm.
problem over time?" And then yeah, and then they told him, and then he would make notes, and then he basically said, if we had a
What you
solution
want it?
for you,
Yep.
how
Yep.
much we would, yeah,
And how
exactly,
much
or
would you
yeah, would
pay
you want
for
it? If we had a solution, exactly, exactly. And it was remarkable. It was just 3 points. What's your problem? If we had a solution, how much would you be comfortable with spending?
it? Mm-hmm.
And then would you be interested in this? And that can build a business
Absolutely.
right then and there, as long as you have enough, feedback from a large group of people. That can build your business just like
But
that. So,
you want to
and
make
then
sure
the
that
yeah,
offering that you're giving them, though, you're fulfilling a need that you desire as well. Because if you're doing
oh
something,
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
know that, shoot, we can ask people for, what do they need, and we can fulfill a need, especially being creative, being creatives. But if it's not something that you're connected to, if it's not something that empowers you, then again, you'll find yourself stuck. One of my favorite businesses that I had before Chase Great was my demolition company. Where, yes, it was one of my
Oh
favorite
yeah.
because I was able to employ people. So it didn't have anything to do with the houses. I didn't care about the houses. I didn't care about having to go in and demolish things. It was more so me being able to offer employment to people, giving you a hammer, giving you a screwdriver, and saying, hey, go out and make money doing this. And so, because of that piece of the business, that's what helped me flourish versus me only looking to solve a problem for someone else. So, you have to make sure that, whatever problem that you're solving, that it's a problem that you enjoy solving so that you don't get stuck.
Ah, yeah. I like that. Because that's actually something else that I can really relate to, because I tried some affiliate, two businesses. I really liked Isogenics. I still love the brand. The business wasn't a fit for me. And then I tried another one. This is all back in 2017. I did
Okay.
them both for about a year and a bit, but I was just doing too much. I stretched my time too thin. I was doing the two businesses plus working full time, and I just burned the candle at both ends, so to speak. So, but it
Okay.
was Isogenics and Enagic. Enagic was affiliate marketing, and Isogenics was MLM. But the thing that I do love about network marketing or affiliate marketing is they
They
teach
do.
you how to be an entrepreneur with, you know, as little as, let's say, 15 minutes to an hour a day. And that's kind of stuck with me, just until I'm full time with it. Then I can do my, 16, 17-hour days. But if I've got a full-time job, I got to be realistic with the time that I can sink into it, into my idea, fully fleshing out my business. But yeah, it helps prepare you kind of to dip your toes in
Absolutely.
entrepreneurship until you're ready to
I
go full
agree.
time with it, full tilt. Yeah. But yeah, like so much good notes right now. Like awesome, awesome stuff. What's another thing I want to ask you here? And oh yeah, what is a favorite statement of yours that you have written down that helps kind of you acts as a positive affirmation for yourself, or just something that you know look at a post-it note every day to remind yourself when you're going through tough times, or a quote that
Well,
you find
something
very
that
empowering?
I'm constantly telling people and I'm constantly telling myself that is if you change the way you view things, it'll change your point of view.
I really like that. Yeah, that's also similar to something that Tim Ferriss said as well. He's like, once you're able to change the lens, your personal lens in which you view the world, then because we have all these preconceived beliefs and thoughts, and some of them serve us very well and others don't. He's like, once you're able to take out the ones that don't serve you, and then begin to adapt and change your personal lens, then you really can fulfill your true calling, or your something that
Absolutely.
you are really passionate about, whether that be business or career. Yeah. And then what time do you usually go to bed
Well,
at?
normally I'm probably in bed by 9 or 10. Yeah, lately,
Oh,
not
okay.
so
Yeah.
much. My time has been, when I tell you I've been working in the middle of the night, my time has been so flipped upside down, but I'm so okay with it. I do believe that God is doing something during this time, especially for coaches. I believe that this is a time that we really need to stand up and stand out because people need us. People are going to need support, accountability, and new strategies. As we talked about the whole pivoting, some people, while we look at the ability to
Yeah.
pivot as second nature, this is what we do, everyone doesn't have that gift. And so we have to be the ones to connect with the right people so that we can help them pivot, because while the world will flourish, but I don't know if it'll ever return back to what we consider to be normal. So because of that, we have to help people pivot. We have to be the one to help those, look at this thing differently so that we can help, so that they can continue to thrive and be successful in their own pursuit.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And then, hmm, trying to think of some other stuff. Oh yeah. If you had a billboard with a statement or a phrase on there, what would your statement or phrase be to like your message to people?
So I will probably do my power statement and how I introduce myself to the world. The only way that I can be effective to you in your life is once you connect with me. So I will offer it as an opportunity to connect. And I will just share with the world that, listen, I am your vision coach. I am everyone's vision coach. No, but I am your vision coach. And I help Christian female startup coaches find their message. I help them increase their visibility, monetize their programs through niche marketing and certification.
Oh, okay. And what do you mean by like
So,
certification? Like getting
yep. So
certified as a
my
coach,
program
like a
offers
business
niche
coach?
certification. I know that most programs offer life coaching certification. My program focuses on niche certification. We help you really discover your niche, and then we provide you a certification in your niche. So, and I'll use myself as an example. When I first started coaching, because life coaching was so familiar, it was either life coaching or business coaching. Well, I'm not considered neither one of the two. My focus and my lane is I'm a vision coach. And so I couldn't find a program or an instructor or a coach that could help train me become who I knew, God had called me to become. And so with that is where the niche certification was born. I want to partner with other people who believe that there's something more specific or more defined than life coaching. And I want to be the one to help build them or help them build in that lane. So the niche certification is one of the focal points of my coaching program.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Yeah, niche vision or niche. Yeah, niche certification. Yeah, because that's really what I'm noticing nowadays is
Yes,
people want
absolutely.
specialists. They want specialized
Absolutely.
solutions to problems. And with the online space, everyone, it's the gateway to entry to becoming an expert on something
Absolutely.
is wide open for anyone that has the discipline and the perseverance to do so. That's why I have so much belief in entrepreneurship, as hard as it can be, and as tough as it can be sometimes. I just know building something online is for me, and I know I can build, with my positivity and optimism, I know I can share that with the
You're
world, and I
right.
know I'll build a tribe that way. In video and audio format, I know it's going to happen. I don't know. I don't care when it happens. I just know that it's going to happen because
And you
I
have to
just, I
stay
got to
there.
share. I got
Yep,
to
stay
share
there.
my
Yep, that's
vision
it.
and
I
yeah,
believe that
yeah,
coaching is right
yeah, yeah,
under is we're like nestled in between, the professionals. And while we are not, at all, therapists, counselors, or any of those amazing in that amazing profession, but I believe that we're nestled right beneath because we are there to provide strategy, support, and accountability. And so just like you couldn't go to your practitioner and for a foot issue you have to go find a podiatrist. You can't go asking for glasses, you have to go to an
yeah,
ophthalmologist. So it's the
yeah.
same type of idea for coaching. And while listen, I hate to sound this way, but I'm a woman. I can do a lot of things. I'm pretty creative, but I don't believe that I'm supposed to solve every problem.
Yeah.
If you're trying to.
No, 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 no. Only,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Don't call me saying,
only
Latoya,
specific
I need you to
problems.
help me lose weight because I can't help you. Listen, I'm trying to figure it out myself. But if you call me and say, Latoya, I'm trying to find my message, I'm trying to figure out how to market to my ideal client, then I have your answer. So that's where I am.
Yeah, no, I really like that. Because that's basically kind of what I've been doing the last few years is really
Absolutely.
honing in on my personal message. Like what do I want to share with the world and how do I want to share it? And it's been a slow evolution over the number of years, but it's getting every day it's getting more and more clear each time I work on the business. So it's once you start to find that
Absolutely.
clarity, that's when things
Absolutely.
really start to take off. Um, and that's what I find really remarkable about entrepreneurship is as soon as you're out of that kind of crazy zigzag all over the place phase and you start to find an ounce of clarity and then a little bit of traction. Because as you know, like sometimes you're not going to feel any progression for a number of years because you're still figuring things out. But as soon as you get a sliver of traction or awareness about your
Absolutely.
brand, that's when things really
And
start to
you
build
want to be
and
sure that
snowball.
because even I'll
Yeah.
say this, before I even really focused on, because I used to coach entrepreneurs and coaches. And so before I really started to focus on coaches, because you're good at something, you can still generate an audience. You can still, but to thrive and to really reach your greatest potential, you have to niche down. You got to really figure out, you got to really figure out the
Niche
problem you
down. Yeah.
solve and whose problem you solve. Again, because you're already amazing at what you do, you can of course make money. It'll come, but if you really want to maximize, get focused. And I guarantee it'll change everything.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah, what's some other questions I have for you? We got some really good value um, written down here. Um, oh yeah, like oh yeah, that was another one I had for you. Which um, mentors along the way when you were getting going on your business, like who did you seek advice from, or did you mainly get you that mentorship through books and audio, and it helped
A little bit
help
of
build
both.
up
I
your self
had
confidence
quite
that
a
way?
few virtual mentors, if I could use that. Just listening to different podcasts, listening to, I had quite a few coaches who I knew were earning 6, 7, 8, 9 figures in their coaching businesses to really help me stay, see where I'm reaching towards. I used to do business plans. And so one of the criterias of business plans is, of course, your competition. I've never been, into this very moment, I'm
Yeah,
not a big fan on competition. I don't believe that there's any such thing as competition. Who you serve is who you serve. McDonald's and Burger
yeah,
King sell the same stuff. Who they serve is who they serve. It's not about competition. This is about your ideal client and what do you have that speaks to them. So, and I'm using that example because, again, when I first started out, I never looked at other coaches or the coaches that I was striving to resemble. I never looked at them as a competition. I've always looked at them as a form of inspiration and to see what can I do to get to that level. So I've always found myself working with other coaches, hiring coaches, enrolling into programs, just being a real having a real hunger for information. So there's not really anyone in particular. I would, if I could use anyone, I would probably use, her name is Marshawn Evans. She's probably one of the top coaches that in the industry that I'm in the coaching industry, that I had the opportunity to really kind of glean from virtually. But other than that, I've just worked with other coaches, reading books, podcasts, that type of thing to really keep me going.
gotcha. Yeah, because I've always
Yeah.
tended to utilize audio books, podcast books. I did have a mentor in an industry, but I just felt like I got a little too
Yeah.
close to my mentor, and then things didn't work out, and then I changed industries. So I'm just like, I think I just emphasized too much into that mentor, and then it just didn't work out, and then I got disappointed. So what I learned from that is, like, it's good to have mentors, but keep a
Absolutely.
distance, because their life goals are different than yours. They will help you along the way, within the phase or stage of your life that you're in. But again, they have their goals that they're still trying to
Absolutely.
accomplish too,
And
so they
and
can't
and two,
just
I will say
coach you
this.
your
This
entire
is
life.
why
So
I think that having a relationship with God, because you need to know, like you just said with that instance, sometimes you don't have a person to go to. Sometimes, you have to sit and you have to be quiet and you have to go into
yeah,
prayer. You have to
yeah,
ask God, okay, Lord, what is it that I need to do in this time? Because sometimes the person may not have the answer, or they may be misleading, or like you said, the relationship may have disconnected, whatever the case may be. So in that season, do you stop? No, absolutely not. You figure out, okay, let me sit down, let me seek the creator for why I've been created. Let me seek the creator so that I can understand my way. And he'll, of course, connect you and lead you to people who can assist you, who can support you, who you can go to. So it's an ongoing journey, of course, but it is a journey that, as long as you stay committed to the why of your journey, the people will come, the right people, the right mentors, the right coaches. I'm always encouraging other coaches to invest in a coach. You really understand the dynamics of business and coaching when you have a coach. So
yeah, yeah. Well, this has been an awesome episode with you, Latoya. I really appreciate having you on. And if there's anything else that you want to add before
Just if
we
there's
leave for the
anyone,
day.
any again, Christian female startup coaches who are looking to connect, I have a free Facebook group called the Coaches Coach. come on over, learn more about me, connect. We do live trainings and strategy sessions all the time, just really helping those startup coaches really get become grounded and learn how to not just find their message, but again, increase their visibility and monetize their programs. Yes,
Awesome. And is that just on Facebook, like a Facebook group?
I
Awesome.
do.
And then I also noticed you have a YouTube channel as well. Are you mainly most
Well,
active on
yeah,
Facebook,
I'm
the
most
Facebook group,
active. I'm most active on
or a few
Facebook
platforms?
and LinkedIn. Yep, and then my YouTube is
Okay,
my
yeah,
where I push all of my content. So anytime I do videos and trainings, I push my videos there. But if you want that live
gotcha.
interaction with me, Facebook or LinkedIn is the best place.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. And then and
They
then our listeners can
actually they
find
are
your books
from a
on
private
Amazon, right?
distribution, so they would have to visit us at chasegreatenterprises.com.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Awesome.
Thank
Well,
you. Thank you so much for
appreciate you
having
coming on the
me.
podcast, Latoya, and you take care.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
Yeah, no worries.